I love stories. All kinds of stories from all kinds of media. I love movies. I love television. Books, of course. Video games, theater, food. Yes, food in my mind is a kind of storytelling. A story for the tongue. Wow, that sounds pretentious. Comics, animation, music, web videos. You get it. I love stories. But it is so damn hard to keep up with it all. Years, decades, centuries, so many different stories from so many different people, from so many different genres, it becomes a chore just to keep up. I still haven't watched Breaking Bad, Scarface, played Skyrim, or read Ulysses. Some things will go under my radar, which happens because there is just so much stuff with stuff that covers stuff over other stuff. Which is why I am always excited to hear your suggestions of what books to cover. This show isn't just about what I like or dislike, but a chance to explore the vast treasures, hidden gems, or downright junk the medium has to offer. And you guys know books that I have never heard of. Again, so much stuff! Which is why I'm dedicating this month with books you guys have suggested yourself. And we are starting off with a book that made me nervous the second I laid my eyes upon it. You don't know why after the opening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into Glass Houses, the first of the Morganville Vampires by Rachel Kane. So the reason I got nervous about this book is because of two things I noticed on the cover. First was the word vampire, which, okay, it's a story about vampires. What's the problem with that? Well, then I looked onto the side. YA, young adult. A young adult vampire story. You starting to see the connection? Finally, I checked the publication date. October 2006. I'm going to give you two guesses of what came out before then. Yes. So now it all becomes clear. A post-Twilight young adult vampire story. I should make a note that if by chance I don't like a book you suggested to me, but you like it, don't be offended. Whether or not I like a book doesn't mean I don't like you. You're awesome. These are just my thoughts. Okay? We cool? We cool. So, let's dive in. On the day Claire, oh thank God, it is not in first person. Became a member of Glass House, somebody stole her laundry. Our protagonist is Claire Danvers, a 16-year-old bookworm. Like, oh my gosh, I can, totally identify with her. Who's so smart that she is now in college in quirky little Morganville, Texas. And hating it. All because of one girl, Monica Morell, who's... What's the nice way of saying a f***ed up bitch? Well, actually, that is a nice way, because she's a straight up... She's a queen bee mean girl out to get Claire because she made her look stupid, because she is, and she is insane. Literally insane that she plans to kill Claire tonight. No, really. So, why does Claire keep staying at the college? Mom and Dad had taken one look at the stack of enthusiastic thumbs up replies from universities like MIT and Caltech and Yale and clamped down hard. No way was their 16-year-old daughter going to run off 3,000 miles to go to school. At least not at first. Of course, overprotective parents. They only let Claire go to the local college, Texas Prairie University, for 2 years, then to transfer. But Monica's threat could be the end to all of Claire's hard work. But Claire is determined to prove to her parents that she can live on her own, cause I'm an adult! To get away from Monica, Claire discovers an ad. 3 roommates seeking fourth. Huge old house. Privacy assured. Reasonable rent and utilities. 716 Lost Street. Gone with the Wind meets the Munsters. She arrives to what is called Glass House and meets her 3 quirky roommates. Eve Rosser, a goth, but the cool kind, not the poser, hot topic kind. Shane Collins, the laid-back, hothead troublemaker, aka the book's Jacob. And last is the owner, Michael Glass, the kind, noble, mature one, who for some reason is never around during the day. Nope. You're wrong. I had the exact same thought. He is the book's Edward, but he's not in Edward. Kind of. It's kind of complicated without getting into spoilers, but Michael is more deader, if that makes any sense. But it is through these 3 that Claire learns Morganville's secret. You mean you don't know? How can you not know? I said it was a secret, not their greatest. Morganville's full of vampires. Oh my God! Claire laughed. Eve didn't. Soon, Claire discovers the truth about Morganville, and while she will have the support of her new friends, the stakes over her life has risen to dangers that will make Monica look sane. There is really one question to ask whether or not you'll like this book. Do you like CW shows? If yes, you're going to love this book. The plot, characters, setting, everything about this book screams CW. College kids who are still teenagers to hit the demographic. Every character having a silly quirk to separate each other. A love triangle. Oh, please, this is post-Twilight. Of course. There are several times Claire can't help but notice how hot each boy is, but in their own unique way, and how she shouldn't be thinking about them that way. While not on the levels of Twilight, there are still some creepy moments. Remember, she's just 16, while the boys are 18. Ugh. But rest assured, vampire fans, these are not the sissy vamps of Twilight. These are the cold, hard, bloodthirsty monsters you all love. They have a mafia-like grip on all the residents who must get protection from certain vampires. If not, they are fair game. It ties into the theme of new generation fighting against the status quo. All the housemates are outcast in the town for various different reasons, fighting a system that the adults are willing to put up with. Because, young adults, people are funny that way. Adults anyway. Kids pick up and leave all the time, but adults get all bogged down. Houses, cars, jobs, kids. Once you have stuff, it's easy enough for the vamps to keep you on a leash. It takes a lot to make people just leave everything behind and run, especially when they know they may not live long if they do. The one thing to note about this book is that it is mainly a setup. There isn't really that much of a plot outside of Claire understanding the rules of the land and a special MacGuffin book cause we need a third act. But other than that, it's all a setup for a 15-book series. Yeah, this one's going to take a while. It's really just a fun, silly ride with vampires. Blech. Again, if you love the CW, you'll love this. I enjoyed it, but more because of how teeny it is. It's actually like a teen version of True Blood, only without the sex. However, there is one thing I will never forget this book for. Ending on a cliffhanger. I hate any kind of story that ends on a cliffhanger with unresolved issues. They make no sense outside of a gimmick to make you read the next story, especially when said cliffhanger may lead to a death of one of your main characters, which I doubt will actually happen. If you're telling a story, conclude that story. Sure, hint at bigger things to come, but don't leave your audience on a note that can be resolved within the first chapter. God, didn't we learn anything from Lost? But with all that out of the way, this is a fun read. If you're looking for a vampire series with real vampires, or a fan of the CW, yes, I'm still bringing that point up. It would have fit perfectly with their catalog if they hadn't already got another vampire show. It's fun supernatural escapism. It's nothing special, but still, who doesn't like fun? What about you, internets? What's your opinion about glass houses? Viewer Suggestion Month continues with a look at one of cinema's most famous icons. Till next time, have a nice day.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.